Oh yeah, you can dance. No, yeah.
Yup. Dance is a loose term.
Here we go.
Do you see how white I am? It's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I'm Irish, brother. All right.
I'm Italian. I'm toasted bread.
I mean, you can too. You can't be Italian. My other friend from Austin's Italian.
This is where I tell you that we're actually clones.
No,
We're the same person.
I'd already know.
I'm just.
I can tell Tim by smell.
You think what? Do we? We don't all smell like baked baguettes. All
He
right.
doesn't smell like a baked baguette either. You racist.
I'm racist against my own kind.
Still racist.
This is the best intro we've ever done.
Well,
Fantastic.
welcome everybody to another episode of Cruisin the Planet. It is episode 67. Extra special guests we have with us. And I've just turned off the stream. The recording's still running.
Yeah, let's do this.
I think everything's still working. Hang on.
Us level.
First guest ever, and we caused the system to shut down.
Okay, I think we're still
Sweet.
working.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I just need to tab over to my notes and move forwards.
Always moving
Oh
forward.
my.
Even after a complete and total pile-up.
Okay, it froze for a sec, but then it continued. We're good.
All right,
Cool.
sweet.
Never
sweet.
even happened.
did it.
I don't even know what you're
Nice.
talking about, bud.
Yeah. So, anyways, what's this greasy smell you keep talking about?
So I said nothing about Greece.
I think I heard you say Grease.
I mean, if you want to like try and peg that on me just because I'm a minority, like that's on you, boss.
Listen, I'd like to prefer to
The
buy
only
you dinner
brown
first.
guy in here too.
Oh my god.
Wow, so fast of you, Marcos, to bring up skin color.
Yeah, I know,
of
right?
course.
I mean, it's obvious. if you
Typical.
look at me.
We've
I'm gonna stay far, far away from that
Okay,
topic.
listen, you
let's move
toasted piece of bread.
okay. Let's move on. But all right, I think everyone said their piece. Up. We just can't talk about rainbows anymore today. Here's the deal. This is the entirety cast, crew, production team, executive producers, and recording studio for Rejects Radio. We have Marcos to my right and Mackenzie also to my right because I'm sitting at an L-shaped desk. And they have funny story how they got on the show. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know who controls the social media on this team. I'm gonna let y'all own up to it as however you'd like. One of them yelled over our Instagram, "Hey, give us a shout out!" And I said, "Actually, I want to see these boys sweat." So instead, I threw out the offer. Why don't you come on the show?
I mean, hey, if you want to see us sweat, we'll get on Fortnite and
Yeah,
we'll
let's do
start
it.
building. We'll sweat a little bit. But
a
that's
lot of
really.
crankers.
I don't want to see you on Fortnite. I want to see you on Minecraft.
Oh well,
I
I
want
have.
to see you build me an Enderman farm,
So
nerd.
here's where I publicly admit I've never played Minecraft.
Me and his brother are trying to get him onto our server.
My 16-year-old
play.
brother. But no, Marcos is entirely the person who edits and runs the socials for
Yep.
Reject Radio. I am
Mhm.
Yes.
just the traumatic comedy relief. Of it.
Dramatic
Yeah,
or dramatic.
both.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm hilarious.
Almost like a sad double entendre. Go ahead.
Yeah, most are, if you think about it. It's the double entendre is just depression with a little bit of just hard punch to it.
With a sprinkle of
Yeah.
anxiety on top.
That's the
Interesting,
entirety of my life. Oh my god.
I know
you
you so
me?
well. Probably. I'm just slightly more toasted.
But no,
I thought we were done with that one.
No, probably not. We're gonna bring it up as many
Dang it.
times.
Oh my god.
But no, Marcos is completely responsible for all of the hard work that goes into that podcast.
Yeah, no, I was. We were going up to Fort Worth. Me and my girlfriend. We were going up to Fort Worth, and I just saw that you were like, "Oh, podcast competition." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool." Just get a message. It was like, "Hey, just give us a shout out." And we were on the road, and I was just listening to music, and then someone messaged back, just like, "No." I'm like, "All right, cool. That's it. See you later."
Perfect.
And then you were like, "But wait, there's more."
It's like, no, we don't do shout outs. Instead, you're gonna come on the show, and then we can consider a
Yeah,
shout
if you
out.
can't see us, he
Prove
has us
yourself.
chained,
And then
underneath
our
here,
raw
there's
comedic
chains.
genius will destroy your stream.
Yeah, you already got us started off to a good spot. We already well, to be completely honest, we already peaked at 3 concurrent viewers.
Oh,
Let
so
me tell you, I'm used
I think
to
we're done.
already peaking early on and then just plummeting after.
But I don't know. You look like you never really like blew up. The problem is you got like the horizontal stripes on the yellow, the rather longish hair that's sort of like sunbaked.
Exactly.
It almost makes me seem like you're just sort of not peaked, but rather burned out.
Let me tell you, the burnout is real. Sometimes I just stare at my screen for hours.
You have a
and
screen?
I do.
Wow.
It's called my eyeballs. I stare at myself in the mirror and I just look at myself, and for a 7-hour period, I just repeatedly say to myself very quietly, Why?
Mm.
And that's it. You
See,
know?
instead, I go nonverbal and just sign language to myself. Why in the mirror?
That's really impressive.
After I've shattered it, because I'm so angry.
How do you just keep going through mirrors? Is that like, are you keeping the mirror business?
Well, it keeps getting smaller, but I keep getting more of them. So you only need the one mirror to kind of get infinite mirrors.
You need to stop this, or David Lynch is going to make this into a short film.
And I'll claim rights, and I will retire.
He'll put it in black and white. He'll have a small bunny in the background, lots of cigarettes.
Yeah, some doves somehow I'm feeling, or water imagery,
Water imagery, and then
like excessive water imagery.
he'll hire Tom Waits to just sit in the corner and just, why?
Like every time he hits another, why, and then a
it'll
long
win.
drag on a cigarette,
It'll
and
win
another
every award.
smash, why. It's got good cadence to it. Actually, I'm liking this.
It's I
I need a film camera. Oh no.
No, we have to do it modern. We have to make it really, a very eccentric millennial idea. We got to get it on a small Polaroid. This is
What?
also, I don't know if Polaroids did this
No.
at one point.
That's World War II, like action filming using film and a shadow box.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna get that, and we're gonna put it. I want that grain on it, okay? David Lynch expects expertise of weird, eccentric ideas, and I think really and truly, if we're gonna nail it, we need to have.
Yes, our
technology
weird and
that's highly
eccentric idea
outdated.
is gonna be first aid on site after the mirror smashing. Like, what is wrong? Use your brain.
That's the problem I have every day.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's very fair. So sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
We need to talk about the topics before we continue.
So, anyways, tell us about these hot topics.
There's just the one topic today, as I figured I would clear my schedule, not knowing how much you guys had to bring to the table. Still came prepared because I expect very little of you.
That's
But
perfect.
That's kind of normal for our daily lives. too.
appointments are still being required to protect participants' privacy. However, the 1B and 1A qualifications have been sent out for COVID-19 vaccinations in Texas. You can head over to dshs.texas.gov/coronavirus/immunize/vaccine.aspx. If you need to hear that again, just rewind. I'm not reading it. It's not live air anymore. You can also call 254-968-9069 for more information from the Department of State Health Services, who are overseeing vaccine distribution for Texas, and the CDC determines the number of doses each state receives. For Tarleton students and those in the Stephenville area, you can, if you qualify for 1A or 1B, you are allowed to make an appointment. Currently, they have only a few vaccines left after last week's initial appointments, so please hurry as quickly as you can. If you qualify in the 1A bracket, that is a frontline healthcare worker and resident of long-term care facilities. If you are 1B, then you are people 65 plus or 18 plus with 65 plus as its own category, or 18 plus with a health condition that increases the risk of severe COVID-19 illness, included but not limited to cancer, chronic kidney disease, COPD, Down syndrome, heart conditions such as heart failure, coronary artery disease, or cardiomyopathies, organ transplantation, obesity, pregnancy, sickle cell disease, or type 2 diabetes. That's all I got.
Wow.
Like that was I will say, like I said before before we went on, I got the Pfizer one, and it honestly wasn't bad. As someone who was a very sickly child, I've had a lot of shots in my life.
Oh, same.
Dude,
I see. That's why I brought up the whole ASL thing. I am going deaf very, very slowly.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I forget my story. I want to hear about this.
Oh, so no. Finish your story because it sort of revolves around the whole like childhood and medicine
Yeah.
thing.
I have the immune system of like a petri dish, and it's
way.
It's terrible. Sweet. No, I've
For
spent a
podcast
lot
audience,
of time.
I sneezed at him.
Yes, the visual was absolutely necessary. So you're missing out on the incredibly hilarious joke.
Check it out on YouTube.
Exactly.
Please continue.
No, so I just had like a lot of shots,
Yeah.
and missed a lot of school. But luckily I've gotten gently better. But I got the vaccine last week, and
Because you're at risk due to sort of childhood illnesses and such.
That and I'm just very accident prone.
I see.
Oh, that's 100% true.
It's very true. Really and truly, it's both because of I have autism and I had asthma as a kid, and so those are like pre-existing conditions that are on the list. But it wasn't bad, even though it was a fairly large shot.
The asthma would definitely be something big,
Mhm.
at least, or because it's still considered a lung transmittable disease.
Yeah, and even though it doesn't affect me as much anymore, I do have, in general, a harder time with breathing
Right.
than normal people.
Like, yeah, you are more shallow breath
Yes,
compared to like a swimmer.
which sucks because I love to run as my form of exercise.
No.
I know. And he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I've gone before the pandemic was really in swing. I was running about 6 to 7 miles a day.
Goodness gracious.
But then I would just be at the end of it, and I would sound like an 80-year-old man on
Every
like
day.
a machine. Someone's looking at me, it's like, wow, that guy's trying his best. He's going up the hill. Oh, he's young. Is he okay?
Oh. He's a smoker.
Exactly. Yeah.
The kid's been on the cigarettes for years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
I was actually the baby in the 50s Flintstone ads.
Really?
Yeah. Smoking the pack and advertising to other babies.
Yeah.
Put it in your bones.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I want to hear about this ASL thing and the slowly going deaf.
Yeah, so it's a terrible, terrible thing. I think it's what got me so interested in eldritch horror and sort of like existential crises at a really young age. I can't feel if I'm going to have an ear infection. I've had so many ear infections. I have so much scar tissue built up in my ears over just growing up because I was so prone to them. I should have gotten tubes in my ears very early on. Didn't. So because of that, I can't feel when I have an ear infection, and so I must regularly clean my ears because I cannot physically tell if they are inflamed or not. And when you have that inflammation, you have extensive damage, you start losing physical locations where you can hear inside of your ear. And with that, I will, if not maintained, it's kind of like treating something that is not a disease but just a condition. I will more than likely be deaf at, I'd say, 60.
Wow.
But completely, because yesterday I had was the worst it's been in a long time. I lost 2 frequencies at once.
Oh god.
Where in the right ear only, where I was just, the way that it works is you know when you're losing one because you just hear and it just like rings out in like a terrible, it feels like this because that's what the waveform looks like. You just get a really sharp, like you ever had tinnitus, or like you ever get hit in the head with a baseball bat?
That was actually what Marcos and I do in the bedroom for fun.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So
I supply the baseball
you
bat.
ever take a hit to the head and you hear that ringing?
Yes.
Imagine that ringing, but it starts off super high and then just trails off, and then once it's trailed off, it's gone forever.
Wow.
It's that sort of thing.
So what you're saying is that Marcos and I shouldn't do our planned wet willy on you.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate not, because that would definitely move me forward, because I haven't even gotten to the ASL club on campus yet.
Okay.
But I've got the alphabet down.
That's good.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, you are like the most optimistic person. Even like with that going on, you're like very inspiring for just being like, yes, like this is this, and I
oh
don't
my
care,
gosh,
and I'm gonna like.
You don't know about any of my medical history, do you, whatsoever?
No.
So I was born dying.
I'm gonna let that sit there in the
Yeah.
air. I'm gonna let that just.
I've performed extensive trauma work on multiple people because of emergency first aid situations. Dude, if you need an optimistic person, I'm your guy.
So we're gonna keep him on retainer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No.
Got it. Great.
$20 a day.
Dude, I hate to break it to you. It's pro bono work.
Nah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I get my foot in the door.
Exactly.
See, it's already working.
It's part of the process. It's in the community.
Community.
I will say,
like a podcaster's mob doctor.
for you and I to have such intensive medical history. Marcos is sitting here and has barely ever been to the doctor.
Yeah.
And
Well, I've never broken a bone except for my front tooth.
You ever sliced a finger off?
No, but I caught a saw blade against the back of my nail once.
Yeah. So
Marcos had never been to a hospital besides being born or things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And a couple times.
Yo, you were born?
yeah, no, it's weird, right?
No, he just appeared.
Dude, C-section.
I just appeared through the cosmos.
No way.
I didn't
you
ask.
dog, I knew it.
I didn't ask to be
I could tell.
created.
Nobody did. Shut up. Get in line.
Yeah. No, but so like a couple
This hits
times
really
ago,
hard.
before when I had come to Stephenville to visit Marcos, we were cooking dinner in his kitchen,
Oh, yeah.
and all of a sudden he's working on a mandolin, and I just hear,
Remember, never been on a mandolin before.
yeah,
Oh no.
no handguard,
No, yeah,
and I just hear, thunk.
yeah. So I was just slicing a potato, sliced, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I feel a sharp pain in my hand, and then I just look over. I'm like,
Thunk. Because it's
Hey, I'm
the
missing-
thumb's hitting the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I'm missing part of my fingertip. Wow, that's yeah, that's not good. I
Yeah.
went to the sink. I started washing my hands, and I looked at Ken. I'm like, hey, Ken. I'm bleeding. He's like, oh yeah, like no, I think I cut off part of my fingertip.
I'm
and
I'm
he turns
bleeding
around.
bad.
I know. I turn, and it's just blood coming down his whole hand. He literally cut like the whole top of his fingertip
Oh my
off.
Still hurts.
gosh.
And he is at first very calm.
Yeah.
I was raised by two Italian Catholic New Yorkers, so which is to say,
Oh, dude.
I was raised by two very panic mode people.
Uh-huh.
And I also
While
told
as
my
my
mother
family
about.
doesn't care about me.
They care about it. I told my mother that
Uh,
about this.
Hispanics are a
broadcast.
different setup.
Yeah, no, we're a different breed here, man.
Yeah.
We fight for ourselves.
You fight within yourselves. No, I told my mom I was going to be on this broadcast, and my mom goes, "That's great, honey. If you're going to mention
so
me,
great.
just be kind." So, hi, mom.
Just be kind.
Hey, mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, I called her, and I'm trying to like be calm for him, even though
Yeah.
I'm like, he just cut his finger off.
Hey, mom. Listen. First off, how you doing? That's yeah.
Can you pick me
No,
up
I'm
from
great.
school?
No, I'm doing great.
But no, so like,
yeah, my buddy just lost a finger.
but no, while he's sitting, while he's calling his mom, I'm clenching my hand together and I'm like shaking. He's like, he has the shakes. Like he's lost a lot of blood. I'm like, Ken, I'm just shaking because of the force that I'm pushing onto this thing.
He's turned completely white. I've never seen it before.
He's lost his brownness, mom.
It's gone. What do we do? But no. Him and a friend of ours took me to one of the emergency ER places over there by Wingstop.
Yeah.
Which
And-
is just a wonderful.
Oh, in town.
Yeah,
in town.
okay.
Mhm, in
we
town.
took him to the clinic next to Wingstop, the safest place to go.
You
Yes.
know, yeah, because of the grease and everything. Hey, maybe I could have gotten free Wingstop.
Oh my
No,
god.
that didn't work.
Wait,
But
you
no.
didn't get him Wingstop?
Yeah, you didn't give me Wingstop.
Wait to hear what happens at the end of the story.
All
How
right,
good of a
all right.
friend
I'm
I
listening.
am.
I'm listening.
But we walked in, and he, before we came in, had the bright idea to get the little fingertip, right?
Yeah.
Put it in a bag of ice, a
Yes.
giant gallon bag of ice.
Oh no.
And we walk
He
in.
only had a gallon bag.
We walk in, and I'm just holding my finger, and the woman's like, "Are you? Don't tell me that's a finger in that bag." And McKinsey's like, "Yep."
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I don't want to spoil the ending of this movie, but yes.
But yeah, no, we after that, the woman calls me behind. She's like, "All right, let's take a look." And she's like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Yeah, I've never seen that reaction before." And she's like, "Yeah, we can't do anything about this." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Later to find out they were just closing and they just sent me off. I'm like,
Yeah, they told us they were like,
Awesome.
go over to the Seton Medical Center, go to the hospital, they'll take care of you. And we're leaving. We ended up going to a second urgent clinic because I was like,
I
this
have
is
no
really
insurance.
bad.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I don't have insurance. I was like, they're just gonna charge you a crazy amount if we go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Let's just go to this clinic. So we go in, we get him checked in. I'm having to write the forms for him. So we go into the second place, and I'm at the front desk of the urgent care lobby.
the
Yeah.
lady is just like, "Is that a fingertip?" And he's just like, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Like,
set
alright.
We've
I
done
s-
this before.
I set the bag of ice on the counter like groceries.
Now, just
Yes.
want you to remember, keep that in mind. The bag is on the counter.
Yeah.
Keep
yeah.
that.
No, I
okay?
hear. I'm seeing this.
So I have to fill out all his info. I'm shaky from the adrenaline going through me. He's more calm than I am, and he's
I'm actually
missing
joking around.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man, it's just a little bit like this is what happens when you lose blood, you lose inhibitions. It's kind of like being drunk because your like proportions are off. So you're just kind of like, hey, what's going on?
So
Look
we
at me
walk
dance.
in-
Look at me dance.
After the forms are filled, we walk into the back, right?
Yeah.
And then we're just waiting there. The guy comes in and is like, "All right, let's see your finger." He unwraps and is like, that's not that bad. I'm like, okay, cool. But the thing is that
While it's still bleeding.
while it's still bleeding. The funny thing that I really loved about this though is that
That's not that bad.
he was gonna take my temperature, right? It's like a long metal rod,
Yeah.
and in my mind I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna get the COVID test right now. Long metal rod.
This is before the vaccines went out and the testing
This was
like big.
recently.
No, this was
Well,
towards the beginning of the pandemic
So
because
like summer.
no one had like done a
I
lot of the
see.
testings.
I
I had
see.
recently gotten tested with the Q-tip
Yeah.
and told him about it.
Yeah.
So he was expecting to get a
Oh.
rod shoved up his nose.
Yeah. So he has it right there. I'm not noticing. I look over like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do. I'm freaking out now.
Yeah.
And he's just like, this is just a thermometer. We're just gonna put it on your armpit. That's it.
We're not
I'm
even
like,
putting it up your butt, dude.
I'm just like, all right, cool. I call my mom. My mom's just like, how bad's the cut? I'm like, I cut off the fingertip. And she's like, my mom's just like, your dad has done worse. I'm like, probably,
Rub
yeah.
some dirt in it. You're fine.
my dad
No.
called me and he was just like,
Do
just
you
blow
want
some air on
Do
it.
you want to compare how bad our dads get injured?
Yeah, let's do it.
My dad's femur is currently broken. Your turn.
Damn. Well, after all the stuff that my dad's been through, I'm surprised he's still alive.
Your dad fell through the roof of in the middle of a contract work.
My dad fell through the roof of through the middle of some contract
Oh
work.
my gosh.
Fell off a 2-story ladder. Still alive. Yeah. He
I've
got up.
fallen off of one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
For fun?
Yeah.
No, my brother walked away from underneath it while he was supposed to hold it, and so the whole thing just went straight down.
Have you ever seen a house of cards topple? That was me.
No, here's the deal. The ladder it's a 2-story ladder, but we only needed to get to like the bottom of the second story, so it was angled really wide. But I was like, Everett, stand there, hold the ladder, don't move. I need to put this person's Christmas lights up. Easiest $100 we're ever gonna make.
Yeah.
And he's like, got you. I'm gonna go
What's this
grab.
thing?
No. He's like, I'm gonna grab more lights. And I go, wait. Boom. I mean, this whole thing slides down as like the part attached to the brickwork. I can just hold on as it goes out from under me. I slide straight down and I just land straight on top of it. I roll over and just lay there for a bit, like,
He comes back like, hey, dude, you okay?
He
Yeah,
was
yeah, no,
he
I'm
was his skin was pale. He was dead silent. I was just like, I like stand up and I was like, all right, I'm fine. I'm good.
Well,
And
anyway.
we finished everything off.
Did you at least let out a goofy?
I
kinda
did
like-
not. I didn't have time. It was so fast.
That would have been better.
Just a Mario.
Mamma mia. That's the best part about Mario is that he goes off into like the sky, but I like hit the ground.
So you Wile E. Coyote'd it.
Yeah, I like oof.
But yeah, no,
Because
so
my
like,
lungs are
I
crushed.
felt that in my soul.
So like, after we're done with my finger, we're getting it cleaned.
Yeah.
And I'm screaming
Sorry,
because
this is
like
still
know.
about you.
No, you're good. You're good. But no, we're getting it cleaned, and like I'm screaming in pain.
Yeah.
While there's people next door to us who actually broke his arm, and I'm just screaming, and I'm making it a terrible time for them.
They're sitting there
Right.
like, what is this guy in
I know,
for?
right? And then I'm just walking out with a bandage.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we left.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie
all the
left
way to the house.
on the way to the house. Mackenzie's like, "Hey, man, I'm like, what's up? I think I left the bag with your fingertip on the front desk."
I left the bag with his fingertip on the desk in the lobby.
So they just sutured you up and you're shorter now?
Oh, I didn't even get sutured. They just
They
wrapped it.
closed it up and they basically did like a little medical super glue.
I
helped
see.
close the wound.
Yeah.
Because it was like just at the precipice of needing stitches, but not quite there.
Yeah.
But I just was so frantic and wanted to make sure he was okay. I just forgot his whole fingertip.
Yeah, that's in the trash now. That's
Yeah.
that's Fight Club soap now.
Well, I like looked at him and I go, is that something we go back for and we admit to, or are we just never gonna? They're gonna clone you from it. They're gonna make
Yeah.
a second one.
I don't know
That's
what
actually
comes out
terrible.
here.
Exactly.
Who wants another Marcos?
You know, right? I don't.
I do.
I want to
Don't
die
ask
already.
why.
No, actually, I do.
Don't ask why.
It'd be so much fun. I could get so much done.
Yeah, sure.
Have your a
Oh
little
my
clone of me
gosh.
and just like, hey, Marcus, what do you want? Yes, coach. Put me in. Sign up. Just... I need you to go do the dishes. Okay, let's go.
Why?
When you're
why
done-
are you peppier than
I
normal?
get
I
him
don't know. This is like
because I have
I
a
don't
mini
know.
fridge full of Modelo just for him.
Woo!
And you like smack him on the hand, and you're like, not till you're done, and you're like, "Ay, boss."
Yes, boss. You got chickens.
This is so bad.
He's the hardest worker you'll ever
This
meet.
is so bad. No, stop.
Oh, it pays to do voices.
It
Oh
does.
my gosh. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you all about that. So, Rejects Radio. Let's talk about your show for a bit, because
Oh,
for the
cool.
last half hour we've done nothing but giggle.
I mean, hey, that's my favorite
That's
part.
why we're here.
That's true. This is a fun show. Rejects Radio. Yes.
Mhm.
First question. Is your keyboard broken? Why is everything capitalized randomly?
We have no idea. It was 3 a.m. when we did this.
Okay.
Yeah, we it was a typo error at first, and then we said we're gonna make it intentional.
I see.
Yeah, we also really like the idea of how early high school like Cookie Monster pajama pants wearing MySpace girls typed. You know what I mean? Is that too dated of a reference?
No, I get it.
Okay. Yeah, we really stuck with that.
Buddy,
and
I'm
vibed with
21 years old. Like, chill out.
Oh God,
that. Dude,
we're
I'm
old.
25.
Yeah, we're 24.
I'm an ancient soul.
Yeah.
We just talked earlier about how broken my lungs are. I'm an old man.
Have you cut down a tree by your hands?
Do I look like Goku? I'm incapable of that.
Goku.
You want to talk about old stuff, boy? I'm a Eagle Scout, fellow.
That's impressive. My mom never
Old
let me
school.
My mom never let me do Boy Scouts
Because you get hurt.
No, because she didn't want to go to the meetings. I'm dead serious. I wanted to do it so badly, and she was like, "No, I don't know." And like a couple years ago, she had always told me, she was like, "I just don't feel well, or maybe the prices are too much." And da.
Right.
A couple years ago, I brought it up because my cousin's husband is an Eagle Scout,
Uh-huh.
or former Eagle Scout, and I was kind of talking about it, and she goes, "Oh, I just didn't want to go to the meetings. We could have paid for it. That wasn't the problem. I just didn't want to do it."
Now that you're an adult and you know it's not right to hit your mother, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, basically. My mother did the same thing with Santa Claus, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I believed in Santa until the 4th grade. I'm not messing with you. I have just a childlike heart,
Yeah.
and my mom...
And a really small brain.
Smooth, too, like a walnut.
Dude, no way!
Yeah.
Fastest brain in the West.
You ever seen a Whopper? Like the candy? That's
Yeah.
that's my brain.
No, you know what? Like what a newt looks like.
Yeah.
Like roll that up on a sushi. I can slide my brain down a smooth hallway. Put enough spin on him. It's like a pool ball. He just smacks into the end of my desk.
That's actually the opening cinematic we're gonna have for our podcast now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that. We're still like that. No newts were hurt in this production.
You just see this pink little slime come spinning in and just smack against the door.
Pink Little Slime is the name of my indie band.
Well, now you have 2 indie band names.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I was a kid, and
See, I'm ahead of the curve.
you are. My mom, I came home from school, and she was like, "Hey, Ken's, what do you want for dinner? Want to get Outback?" And
Yeah.
I was a kid. I loved Outback.
Oh,
I
same.
was like, "Oh my god, yeah." She goes, "Yeah, we need some Outback. And you know, we can go over to Hollywood Video, and we can rent Batman." I was like, "Oh my god, this is Wait a second. These are my favorite things to do."
You're buttering me up something, Mama.
Yeah. What do you? She goes,
What are you doing,
I have to tell you
Mother.
something.
Mother, please.
mother?
Nice.
Jinx.
Yeah. She's like, I have to tell you something. Santa isn't real. I was like, excuse me? She's like, your father and I are Santa. And I was like, no, but Santa brought gifts. That was us, sweetie.
We bought him.
And I looked at her, I go, you've lied to me my whole life.
Corpse?
And
Is that you?
From this point forward, I will never forgive you. It still gets brought up. This Christmas, we were talking about it at like a family like Zoom call dinner.
Yeah.
And we're all like having a good time. And my mom's like, yeah, you know, like no one in the family really believes in Santa. And I go, whose fault is that, Mom? Whose fault? But yeah, as far as the typos
fantastic.
go for the font, that was this beautiful, beautiful
Again,
brown
Just
voice.
3 in the morning.
Just a mistake.
3 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a mistake.
I
is what I'm
recently
hearing.
just got the new mic, and we're like, "Hey, you want to test it out?" Yeah. And then the night just kind of went along. And we're
I
like, "Okay,
see.
cool."
Mhm.
I see. Interesting.
It was very interesting.
I love
Cool.
this long pause.
So yeah, if you head over to Spotify, you look up Rejects
Reject.
Reject. Okay.
Mhm.
Reject. I did all my homework. You can tell. Reject Radio. You will find a strangely capitalized title with a very neon-looking, old school double antenna radio.
So actually, we updated our icon.
Yeah,
I can't believe
yesterday.
you've done this.
Just this morning,
Yeah,
just
just
to make
this morning.
sure that you weren't on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Describe the image. to
Here,
me,
I
then.
actually have it right here.
You actually have it. Pull it up.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
I
Still on
yesterday-
Spotify, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and soon to be, soon to be. Oh yeah, when we were waiting to get let into the building, we took a very stylish photo. I thought that we were doing a nice, cool pose. Marcos instead it turned into a gremlin.
Yeah. So that's our new right there.
Oh.
That's our new.
I like this very much. Yes. So we've got a more stylized neon font, very psychedelic background, a lot of purples.
Yes.
We've got we've got ourselves a neon purple skulls, one with glasses, one without. I'm assuming Marcos is the one with glasses.
Yes.
Nice.
And then they got blue headphones. We got green. Yeah, that's very nice. Here, let me see if I can find it on here for a screen share on Spotify.
Yeah.
Sometimes this works if I do it right.
If
you
you
do
do
it
the
right
thing
and
and
you
you do it right,
It
just
just works.
flex tape.
Oh God.
I think that's you.
Yeah.
If the image would load.
It's the only one with the with the
And-
2004 MySpace thing.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right. And we go to this view. That should show everything.
Oh.
We're
And
loading.
it's not loading.
There we
There
are.
we go.
And we're live.
There it
And
is.
there we are. So this is Reject Radio. As you can see, the spelling I alluded to earlier. For all the video listeners, for the podcast listeners, we have a capital R, lowercase e, capital J, lowercase ec, capital T. You can already see how complicated this gets on a keyboard.
Yeah, no, right?
Or on like an iPhone lookup in Spotify. Capital R for the next word. We have a lowercase ADI and a capital O.
The correct pronunciation for the whole thing is actually Reject Radio.
Are they old?
Oh.
Yeah. If you have a
like
little
you're
bit
being
of-
tickled while you're typing it in.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Our
just
new
a
episode already
preemptive
up, too.
assault of giggles. It is preparing you for the absolute
Interesting.
amount of laughter that you're going to experience.
Fantastic. These guys are at 5 episodes so far. I probably can't pronounce that one, the most recent, just because this is still a college campus style
family-friendly show.
podcast. It's family friendly show. But
I mean, it's
I'm certain
it's just gardening in a musical area that happens at rock concerts.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a beautiful time. But yeah, it's been a fun time. And I know that a lot of the what we'll call the
Shenanigans.
My Chemical Romance
Oh.
tour
yeah.
that got
the
canceled.
Black Parade.
The Black Parade that has just infected the nation, the world, really.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I set you up like that.
And listen-
Earlier before the episode, they had asked, was it okay? Very, very gentleman-like. Asked, was it all right to talk about COVID and all of those things? And they said, or we can just reference it as the My Chemical Romance Black Parade World Tour. And I said, oh, I love that idea so much, just so that when this moment came, I could shut them down instantly.
No.
Listen,
I
life-
am lawful evil at times. Just want to let you know.
Well, I'm chaotic good, so
We're the
really,
same
really
thing.
just chaotic.
So we're the same thing.
Exactly. Really
good.
and truly, it's been a nice time, even though the whole quarantine has bred a lot of podcasts and stuff. But it's also, I
Yes.
feel,
I believe it has doubled the number of podcasts that currently exist from last year.
really,
Yes. We are currently in a golden age of expansion in podcasting alone. That's actually why we have been focusing so hard on podcasts recently with our KXTR.com podcast competition.
And
Wow.
here we are. We're just two idiots that just decided.
I know.
Hey, we're gonna give you a podcast.
We're two monkeys that found a keyboard.
Yeah.
Clearly, with the way that we type.
yeah.
Monkeys indeed.
Exactly. But
Gee,
the weird fact
monkey.
that I had going off of your lawful evil,
Yeah.
chaotic evil, lawful evil.
It depends on the day.
D&D sales for Dungeons and Dragons
Yes.
has quadrupled
Yes.
since the pandemic started. In Austin, there's a place called Dragon's Lair, and it's where I get all my comics and games and stuff. And it's a really cool place. But every time that I was able to go, once they reopened, since the pandemic started, I mean, the beginner's instruction manual, the Dungeon Master's Guide, even like Curse of Strahd, which is like one of the most well-known campaign like in books, all sold out. Miniatures are sold out.
I can imagine Curse of Strahd being sold out as well.
Yeah, and it's just everything gone. And I was like, is there a restock? I'm like, well, everything's been bought out.
And nothing can be repurchased.
Exactly. On a different note, I will say that same can be said for a lot of manga. I went into to Kinokuniya. It's like a Korean bookstore, and they have one in Austin. And one of the biggest ones right now, I think, is Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was the right name, but I went in because it's been popular over TikTok and everything else. And they're like, the first of that, of Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia, all sold out. And I was like, okay, when are you? She's like, we're actually at a national back order. Like, what do you mean? Like the printing companies don't have any.
Yeah.
They've had to move to Canada to their manufacturing plants and print there, and we're just playing catch up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Young Midoriya, you have to wait for your book.
No, yeah.
It's kind of cool though because it is like,
everything is in deficit. Nothing exists.
Yeah, but it also, I feel like, is a sign that those type of things, the nerdy things, comic books, anime, even just doing a podcast and stuff like that, it's so widespread now, and it's cool because, like, when all of us were kids, I mean, I'm sure that you experienced as far as getting made fun of for reading Batman or reading manga in school and stuff like that.
Yes. I was in high school, I created the animation club. That's how I got into all of the sort of like nerdy side of things. I got into this job in doing radio because I'd always wanted to do. Well, that's actually like an extensive story. We don't have to go into that.
No, by all means.
We can save it for your show when you're interviewing me.
Sweet,
nice. It's a 2-part situation. That's how the system.
Part one.
I started off in doing the animation club. Nobody showed up. It wasn't a level of like active bullying that you see in a lot of groups. It's more of this weird exclusatory thing of like, we're good. Like you do your thing. Yeah, bullying by omission, which was very strange, because you can't fix that. You have to you either conform or you get over it.
It's almost worse too because it's like you don't have any substance to like digest. It's like there's a complete absence. It's like, what am I to do with this?
Yeah.
I think now it's a lot different too, because like if you think about it, so back then, of course, like we just stated, like manga, anime, comics, and all thing was the nerdy thing. If you were into that, you were definitely rejected. But now in society, it's become to where it's kind of a norm in our everyday life, and being like actually hip with it and everything, it's kind of just dwindling down.
Yeah,
so,
like every single gym rat you ever find is gonna have a Goku shirt on somehow.
Or they'll be, if it's not that, if they're playing their music, every time that I've gone to the gym since they've like briefly reopened,
there's an anime opening.
Anime openings are blasting out of their headphones.
Yes, it's the norm thing to do, which I have a small concern about. Only because it's something I've noticed, and it was something that I noticed originally. This mentality back in high school, the concept of the band nerd,
which I like the gatekeeping type deal.
Gatekeeping, yes, and how like really bad it can get. Where in our band hall, no one unless you were a part of band was let in.
What'd you play?
I didn't play band.
You didn't play band?
That's the thing.
Oh,
I was part of guitar club.
Oh.
So I was like a cool skater kid with an acoustic guitar type of situation.
Gotcha.
Because I've been this tall since I was like 14, so I was really able to just like use that just to a certain degree. But if you weren't part of band or you weren't liked by the band kids, they created this little like band cult, and like we're band nerds. People like think that we're weird and we're strange, and nobody likes us, but we own it. And I'm like, you're the second largest organization in the entire school, and you are the first most funded organization in the whole school.
Like you have a bigger budget than the theater department. Calm down.
So you can chill out. I just want to paint oil paintings, and you're like watercolor and gouache. I have to get past you. I need to go past you. To go.
I need to
How
move.
good was that spike you just did?
That's why I moved away from the mic.
You gotta go. Just like, move out of the way.
That's why you. It's called mic control, Ken.
Exactly.
You gotta move around it.
I wish I understood that.
See, I'm a professional.
Sometimes we do.
I'm a professional. I'm not.
We're not.
I'm a fraud. But
I do empathize with that.
it's this
though.
weird level where they're like, sorry to cut you off, but
No.
they act like they're being bullied, and because of that, they are the bully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is a weird thing, and I think it kind of gets brought up because that culture has a lot of its roots in being like, there's only 4 manga books total in the public library, so you have to go to a specialty store. If you're seen at the specialty store, you're dead. Like you are branded by society as a strange person,
Yeah,
mostly by association with other weird people.
Yeah, I think
You go to a tabletop store, you're considered a strange, greasy man because you play board games. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
like these are all like, these are like denouncement by association because there are bad people in the group, and all of that's where everything like started. But now that they're the popular media, everyone's got like a big head of like, oh, you can't hang with us because you didn't experience. It's the gatekeeping, like you were saying.
One and a prime example that I can think of with a lot of that, and just on the comic side of it.
Yeah.
You have TikTok, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we have a station TikTok now. That'll be fun. You can
cool.
check that out later.
I'm guessing that you are like us, to where every third TikTok is. So spoilers for WandaVision, but here's this theory I have about this thing in the corner that's also in the comics. Every third thing is the crappiest conspiracy theory about how it's going to connect to the comics, but then also at the same time, you have videos that are like, oh, you watch WandaVision?
Name everything.
Name everything. Or if you really knew this, you'd know da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you're an artist? Name every color.
Yeah, and like obviously it's been like memed out like that,
Yeah.
but there's also so much of that type of mentality. I mean,
they're fighting each other too.
I went to I had gone to a different comic store that I'm not gonna name and I don't like, that's in Austin.
Yeah.
But I went in because I for a long time when I was actually here at Tarleton, I transitioned to my comics to be digital, which is a very
Using
weird thing.
Comixology?
Yeah, isn't that? Which is helpful.
I've heard a
'cause I
lot
could
about
read,
it.
It's nice because you can read a lot of it at once.
Yeah.
But you don't get that classic.
There's no feel.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of.
No, that was definitely one of the things. I moved from specific like paperbacks into like collections. That was my favorite thing, was to get an entire story in one big book.
Yeah.
Because you still got the feel, and this was right when Comixology came out as well. It was like I could either read Bones all at once, or I could read it online, or I could read all of what is the one that has Dr. Manhattan?
Oh, Watchmen.
I could read Watchmen on my laptop, or I could get just the book itself.
When
and
it
the
feels
book
like an
always feels
accomplishment.
better. It feels so much better.
Yeah. But I had gone into.
Marcos, you needed to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna add a comment to Mackenzie's story, saying his transition from comics to digital wasn't just the reason because it was a nice niche thing. It's probably because we felt like we put Hastings out of business that year.
Oh,
no.
that's true. We bought a lot of stuff.
Bought is a loose term.
Listen, we're not gonna get into that, okay? We're not gonna admit the things that we did as just very sleep deprived, sad college kids. Okay.
We went in at one time. He had a big brown jacket.
Yeah.
And I think it was around the time of my birthday, right? And so he was just like, "Hey, you want this for your birthday?" Like, hell yeah! All right. We walked out. He's walking all buff and stuff. And
I'm
like,
not proud of this.
He's walking chest puffed out. I'm just like, "Why are you doing that?" I was like, "Oh, no reason." Out of his pants, pulls out a box. Is like, "Here you go, happy birthday." I'm like, "Nice."
Listen, I'm not proud of it. Okay. I just wanted to do something nice for my friend, and I had negative $50 in my account, and he had given me food and shelter.
Right.
And I was like, I just have to have a way to repay him through borrowing.
Yeah.
We borrowed.
But no, I had gone into into that comic shop to get House of M, the comic that is WandaVision is using a lot of stuff from. Went in.
That's the removal of mutants.
Mm-hmm. And I had my digital copy, but just somewhere along the transfer, whenever Amazon acquired Comixology, or like that whole thing happened, I just lost that on my database. I lost like a good 70 books.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And I was like, well, I want to have the physical one. So go in, and they're like, hey, man, how can we help you? I was like, oh, I want to get House of M. Huh. You watching WandaVision? I'm like, I mean, yeah. But everyone's wanting House of M because of WandaVision, but real fans will read, like, Vision by Tom King. I'm like,
the
yeah,
one
dude.
where she gets in it with her brother?
I'm like, listen, dude, I just, like, why do that? Why would you not be the complete other side and be like, oh, you watch WandaVision? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get you more interested.
Yes.
But instead, it's
because
like
you're
this...
selling stuff, nerd.
Exactly. It's like, embrace capitalism
Yeah.
and the nerdy side.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
If you're gonna exploit anyone, exploit the ones with disposable income.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Literally, yesterday, I looked at him when we're looking through, just like, he's on Facebook and I was on TikTok. Every other thing, he's like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, I don't need to buy that. Okay. But did you see this figure? I am the easiest sell.
Yeah.
Okay? You could give me, if you pulled up right now and said, hey, have you seen this? And it's a Bakugo figure.
Yeah.
It could look like the crappiest figure, and I'll say, give me. I want.
Please.
Yeah.
I could have like a little tiny Inosuke with like removable pig hat.
So
Exactly.
It's really funny that you mentioned that because we recently got to that episode of Demon Slayer.
I just started it.
Yeah, he just
I
started
really
it.
enjoy Demon Slayer.
So I finished it. I've been bringing him up to speed. We got to that point. And spoilers, of course, if you watch the show. Opens the door and you see the boar head, and he's just like, "What? What is that? What?" And then to find out that in the English dub, Bryce Papenbrook is his voice,
The same as Eren Yeager.
and so he was just like, "Can we just switch it back to English?" And he was like, "Why?" Because I want to hear Eren freak out as a boar pig man.
I didn't want to watch it in dub at all, except to just hear a second of Bryce Papenbrook
Yeah, no, right?
scream.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we can go back.
Yeah. So we're right there. We
Fun.
kind of
Good.
Curious for you,
What's
are
up?
you predominantly sub or dub? I know that's like a huge
market.
argument.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
It's not a problem for me to listen to dub. I always need subtitles because I can't hear very well.
That's true.
That is fair.
And so if there are subtitles, I will sit, also a little bit ADHD, so not a little bit, but let's go with that. I will sit there reading the subtitles. And so sometimes sub can ruin scenes for me because it's like I'm sitting there like reading every single word multiple times to be like, okay, this is definitely happening, and then look up and like somebody's already dead. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how did that get there?
There is a
Get that out of your chest, son.
there's this video out back, and I was like, you sub versus dub haters. How you gonna cry in a sub? How you gonna reads like go back and forth.
Yeah, the anime community is very, very toxic. Depending on
is.
what show you watch,
Very
too.
toxic, yes.
But I will say that I feel personally, depending on the show, like I watch My Hero Academia in dub because the creator Horikoshi, right? He's so enamored with American culture and a lot of the Western side of things. And so I feel like watching
those always end up being incredibly interesting too.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have Eastern trying to mimic Western in an Eastern style.
Yeah, and it's this really interesting just look at it. And I also, I mean, I love Christopher Sabat, and so hearing him do All Might is great. But it feels very of that nature, like it's kind of going towards what he wanted. Or
it's
like
not bad. It looks like what it sounds like versus what you see on screen. Dubbing, totally cool.
Yeah. But then if I'm watching Demon Slayer or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I want to watch that in sub because they're predominantly in a more Eastern setting.
Yeah.
And so it feels like that's more natural. Not mainly because of the performances, but it just feels like that. Also, the JoJo dub is terrible. Fight me.
Hey, I've stayed away from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I got a buddy who's like, as soon as he gets me into it, I can't do anything for the next 4 months.
You'll be ruined.
Just because I'll watch every bit of it because it'll be like I get it. It's my oldest friend, Andrew. If you're listening, thank you for making it this far.
Do you also know what Andrew smells like immediately?
No, but I do know exactly what he sounds like as he walks into a room. See, I met him before he was born. Yeah, you think you're like powerful and like not of this realm. From the Feywild, son. I've made deals with men you can't even see. Sweat.
Uta puta solo.
Please tell me how you knew this man before his mortal birthing.
So, the story is while I was being wheeled out after my terrible, terrible birth, which you still haven't asked me about later, so I can talk about it on your show.
Oh, I was saving it. After earlier, you were like, we're going to save it for yours. I'm like, all right, cool. I got to.
After my terrible, terrible birth experience, as I'm being wheeled out, like, visually aged from terror and shock, Andrew, his mother, is being wheeled in with him to like trade rooms, and so I like saw him before he saw me. Got the drop on the kid.
Then I see you. You're dropping. No mats. Dog water. The trash.
Water.
Listen, zero earnings. Listen, I'm not good at Fortnite.
I don't play Fortnite. I play Hunt Showdown. It's a man's game.
I gotta get into it, all right? Listen,
you do.
I am...
You ever wanted to kill a man with an axe while he screams at you?
Every day in traffic.
Pistols?
Every day in traffic and every day that I
Just
see someone
today
not wearing a
getting
mask.
here.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You could load up with just a knife in that game if you wanted to.
If there's anything that brings the New Yorker out of me, that just makes my blood turn immediately...
Like green.
Yeah, it is immediately done by stupid people and stupid people in cars.
Oh.
Marcos
I like
often
that.
drives with
like
me,
that.
but he doesn't like when I am in control of the wheel.
Yeah.
Because
I fear for my life every day.
That's good.
because I'll be
That's
driving
good.
and we'll be like, yeah, man. So like we're gonna go to eat and I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna go to where you live. I'm gonna track you down. No, listen, buddy. I know where you sleep. You don't think I do, but I know. Through the cosmic realm and all the spirits talking to me, I'm gonna find you in the midst of your sleep time. I'm gonna take a pillow and I'm gonna cover over you.
Like I said, before we got here today, we were just at Sonic. We were at that light, right? Because it takes a while.
Yeah.
And he's just like, go! Just go! And I'm just like, dude, calm down. We're
I
right
almost stuck
here.
my head out like
He's
a golden
like-
retriever.
He's like, here's the deal. This is where Marcos is coming from, right? He's like, you're too anxious on the regular to
Yes.
be like acting like this, buddy. You're gonna get hurt.
See, but on the other side, I'm the guy that watches Initial D, so I just floor it to the pedal when I'm
He's
driving.
drifting around.
Oh no.
I will say,
Cool as a cucumber too. Of like,
I'm not.
as you're just slammed into a wall.
It's funny you mentioned that because I have a small little story. We were coming back from Austin. There was a big
Oh my
Dodge truck
God.
that was right next to us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And was trying to get in my lane, or I think trying to pass me or race
He
me.
almost
Yeah,
hit
we almost
the front
died.
left side of Marcos's car, just
Uh-huh.
aggressively driving and trying to switch into his lane.
So, so what Mackenzie hears is running in the 90s from Initial D in my mask. I just slowly lift it up, and he's texting a friend, and he's like, "What do I do? What are we doing?" And just me
Snapchat, I'm like-
nonchalantly just.
In
Oh,
case I die.
you drive stick.
Yeah, I can drive stick. Right now, I have an automatic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch.
Disgusting.
Oh god, yeah, I'm a simpleton.
Once you catch up with the modern tools,
I have a bike.
Whoa. What side do you think I'm on?
I'm afraid.
Yeah. Now
It's
you're
a
afraid because I
unicycle.
posted the question.
You have a
Aren't you?
unicycle?
No, I don't have
Damn
a
it.
unicycle. I'm currently vehicleless. My car, after the freeze, the idle pulley shattered
Oh my god.
and then bent on the
I'm
axles.
so sorry, dude.
And so, no,
Brutal.
don't be sorry. I got a $300 check out of it
That is
Okay.
good.
Well, that's
instead
not
of
bad.
and free towing.
That's nice.
That car is no longer mine anymore as well. But it was a 6-speed Kia,
Oh,
manual
okay.
transmission.
All right. I had to change.
Manual's the
engine
only way to
block.
go.
I don't know cars.
You can't drive either.
I can barely drive. I can barely read.
I mean, you only need to know a couple of letters if you want to know how to drive.
Exactly.
That is it.
Stop and gore.
Prindle.
Parindle.
Yes. I know some of these words. These phrases.
I know some of these words. Prindle.
Prindle.
Am or fum.
Am or fun.
I think we're having too much fun.
I think we are having too much fun. This is the highlight of my day. We're gonna go from
That
here.
is good.
We're gonna get tacos maybe,
We're gonna get tacos.
Oh,
and then I'm gonna.
then you're
sit-
done for the day.
Really well. Like today is when I'm gonna give myself a relax day because I've spent the last 2
So-
weeks writing and trying to get everything done for the podcast for my
Oh,
for my
yes.
podcast after.
Do you want to talk about your show?
Sure, man.
So it's called Shock Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
It is a narrative Star Wars podcast.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like I told you before we started, I'm literally wearing a Kyber crystal necklace.
Yes. I tried to make a joke at Mackenzie's Austin Heritage of like, you Austin boys are all the same. You wear a crystal, and he just goes, "Oh, yeah, it's a Kyber crystal," and I was like,
"It's a replica of Jyn Erso's from Rogue One. Let's go.
I've made a mistake. I'm so sorry."
But I am just a huge nerd for it, and I realized that there weren't a lot of really any that I could find narrative Star Wars stories, and I just wanted to tell one.
Yeah.
But then I forgot when creating it that the Star Wars canon and keeping everything exactly adhering to the timeline makes me feel like that scene from It's Always Sunny with the yarn board. Whenever.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I'm familiar.
So, but it's been a fun time. It starts.
So it's a narrative show.
Yeah, it starts at the semi-beginning of Revenge of the Sith on Coruscant with the Carillion. I'm forgetting the name. The ship that crashes into the planet that Anakin and Obi-Wan are flying.
Yes.
That point, and currently it is 3 years after Vader screams no. On the table. So I'm trying to fill the gaps between Sith and A New Hope. Ideally, I'm going to have the first season end just as the rebellion is really getting into its way.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. I like it. It's got a lot of.
That's very interesting, actually.
It's a fun time.
I'm curious. I have a lot of questions now because I'm currently working on a personal narrative show as well. That's completely secret.
Okay.
No, we can talk.
You'll tell me after.
I'll tell you after this, yes, because we're getting close on time is all. So I want to finish up with this nice promotional piece.
Yeah.
How do you do your sort of description of scenes? How are you getting everything to sound like it's sort of in the world, or is it more of just an audiobook?
So I actually, when I was creating it, I wanted to lend myself to the realm of slight disbelief, as well as making it in universe. So I have every episode presented as an audio file from the Trooper armor that is being broadcast, and the beginning and end segments of each episode is the Trooper in the like quote unquote present time sending these broadcasts out. So I have a hollow.
So it's a frame story.
Yeah. So I have like a hollow tape. Be a noise starting at the beginning and end of each episode, and then each segment I'll do. I mean, the last episode I did had 70 layers of different backing sounds and random voices. Most of it is just myself and Marcos, because I've brought him in to assist a lot of it, just making like noises and then stuff in the background. And then I'll also do like the most recent episode I just posted last night. There is a club scene, so I have like really loud bass music that's also compounded with drinks falling and droids going by and Marcos talking to patrons and stuff like that, and then also doors opening and closing to simulate movement.
Interesting.
It's a very sound heavy episode, if I have to admit.
It is.
Last night I watched him just stress over it entirely, and I'm just like, he's got the again, he's my best friend. I will 100% say you are doing great, man.
Thank you.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry you have to go through all that.
I know. I love you. I will say it's a lot of effort, but I mean, and you especially as a fan, I mean, all three of us just as an absorbing group of content, you know.
Right.
We expect a certain level of care and love and expertise to go into when we go see like a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie.
Yes.
We expect that level. So I personally feel if I'm going to absorb content like that and I want to hear something like that.
And have an expectation like that.
And have an expectation, I should also deliver that level of expectation.
Oh my gosh. That is the biggest problem. That level of professionalism has kept me from hitting the record button for like 2 episodes now.
The biggest thing that I can say that's pushed me forward is feeling like if I could imagine Disney giving me a copyright strike, then I know I've done my job right.
Because it's surreal.
Yeah, which I will say, technically speaking, if you get hit with a copyright claim and they claim it, that means it's canon.
So, and that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to make it canon.
I want it to be as good enough to feel like it could be.
Sick.
Yeah.
Where like they claim it,
If they claim it and they send me that like cease and desist, I told Marcos I'm framing it. I'm framing it and I'm putting it. He's like, why would you do that? I was like, why would I not?
I've just made canon, baby.
Exactly.
In between a movie.
And it's like, are you kidding me? And then from that point forward, if I try to like sell a different story, I'll be like, look, man, my stories are so good. Disney said that it's too good.
Disney hit me with a cease and desist because it was getting too close.
Yeah.
So like, I know something.
Exactly. I know some of these words.
I know some of these words. Oh my goodness. This is we're coming to a close on this episode, unfortunately. Let me get to my ending script here. So you can find we're gonna start doing the music now.
Ooh.
You can find Mackenzie and Marcos on their podcast, Reject Radio. We'll have a link of it in the description of both this video and the podcast show notes and the feed and whatnot. Everything. We can even do a little bit of a picture later on if y'all would like
down.
some promotion. Just because we have I have access to the social media accounts, so we can do that.
Yes.
If you want to hear more of them, go ahead and check out their episodes. They have 5 episodes up right now, only on Spotify for distribution.
So we're on Spotify and Anchor.
Okay.
We're hoping to get on Apple Podcasts pretty soon, and Google is a thing I'm working on right now. So.
Yeah. If you after this, if you need me help, I'll talk to y'all about work stuff in a second. I got to do the outro of the show, for y'all, which y'all are in. If you want to check out what their next episode is going to be, I actually am going to be on that episode. And so if you want to follow me over into their realm from my side to their side, we'll be talking about setting all that up later, which means that you can hear me again for some familiarity, but you can also listen to these beautiful boys in just, I believe, a week's time, when we'll probably.
Yeah.
So next week, they will be gone. We'll have somebody else on, but you can definitely go and check them out. They got 5 episodes, all about an hour long, and so that's a good weekend of content. One last reminder, for a bit of a fun one, if you do qualify for 1A or 1B qualifications for a COVID vaccine, please go ahead and get an appointment in as soon as possible, because the mask mandate in Texas is coming down. That doesn't mean that things are coming down inside of Stephenville, inside of Tarleton immediately. However, I'm certain that you can only imagine how fast people are going to start using that to not wear the quote-unquote uncomfy masks. Listeners and viewers, we come to a close here on this episode. If you shut up late or wish to revisit us, you can find this show on our YouTube channel, Tarleton Radio, as a video, or listen in on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts. For updates on the show and other interesting things we make here at the station, follow us on all the links in the description. That's our socials like Facebook and Twitter and stuff. You can be... Excuse me. This has been your episode of Cruisin the Planet, where you can find something to do in and around Stephenville every week. This week, it's something not so fun, but while you're doing that not so fun thing like appointing, go ahead and check out these boys on Reject Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to recommend us to your friends or force them to listen by whatever means necessary. And if you have any questions or suggestions, ask them in the comments or as a review of the show if you're able to do. I'm gonna start the music again because the recording's not over.
Beautiful.
Nice.
We went too long, but that is everything I have for us, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's, theys, and she's, theys. Goodbye, everybody. You can say bye, too.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.